Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back to another episode of the One Pair at a Time podcast channel. What up, Jay Elevate?
Hey man, what's good with you, brother? What's good with you, family? We got
Man,
Thomas Goldring Jr. in the building, Jeffrey Flight 23.
nice.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
well, I did a 5.7 mile run this morning, and I totally forgot to charge my other phone for use to the camera. So my apologies, but it'll be nice and charged up when I kick off this review I got of the band bread loaves that just arrived last night.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And
Congrats. We got Air in the build. We got Tyler's World. We got Mr. Think.
what up, everybody? And big shout out to Mr. Think. His son is having his graduation ceremony today.
Yes.
So big applause to him.
Yes. Huge accomplishment, bro.
That's it. Is that high school or college? College, right?
Mm-hmm.
College, yeah, I figured. I thought that. Jay Bureau in the building. Tyler's World in the building. Air Rue, Jeffrey Flight. Yeah, man, we definitely gonna talk about this. We definitely going to talk about this here, guys. It's definitely something we need to talk about with Snkrs at, because I don't know if you guys heard, but part of this was prompted because somebody who currently works at Nike said that so you have the Nike app and the Snkrs app, and while they are partners, I guess, I don't know, what do you want to call them, siblings or whatever. It's sibling, like they're sibling apps, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's dedicated staff to each application. Now maybe there is a little overlap or whatever, but in any case, for the Snkrs app themselves, allegedly they laid off about 30% of the staff that handles the Snkrs app. So yeah, possibly inside whistleblower, inside whistleblower. But we'll get into that in just a little bit. Wanted to say, hello to everybody. Tomorrow, this is a Mother's Day weekend. Tomorrow is Mother's Day. Unfortunately, my mother is not around anymore. My grandmother's still around, my mom's mom. That's the only grandparent I have actually around that I've known my entire life. But my mom passed away. Actually, it'll be 10 years this December that she had passed. So my mom's not necessarily around. But for those of you who have the opportunity, make sure you do something special for mom for Mother's Day.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this, man. Don't just, give your mother her flowers one day out of 365 quarterly days, man. This is just a little icing on the cake, in my opinion, man. Give your people their flowers while they're here.
Jay, I like your thumbnail. I like the thumbnail you made. That's dope. I like it. I don't know if you got a chance to see mine. It's a graveyard. It's a graveyard.
Listen,
what you said,
bro. Chat, we got a lot to talk about today, man. I don't know. We got some stuff to talk about today, for real. Baseball guy, salute. We got Ohio 1986 in the building. My guy Jason said today they left out the H for center.
Ooh. I think there's going to be some women that like it though. So I will say I don't have as much of a problem with gold blocked shoes as some other people do, because I do have the gold medal ones, the black and gold ones that came out during the Summer Olympics.
Yep.
And I also have, it's a women's Jordan 1 high with gold trim, but they came in extended sizing. I don't know if you remember those, Jay. All white. Yes.
Yep.
All white uppers with gold wings logo, gold collar, gold trim on them, whatever. I like those. I thought they were clean. Yeah.
There's great leather quality too.
But there's other people out there that don't necessarily like gold on the shoes, which, to each their own. Baseball guy, what's good with you? Ohio, good morning. And what else we got? Also, I think it's actually 90% of the Snkrs staff that was like. So what I was seeing, what they were putting out was 30%. That's what they were putting out. But we'll definitely get into that here in a little bit. That being said, I haven't been following as close, but as far as the NBA playoffs are concerned, Jay, what is your early prediction as far as who do you think has real potential to make it? Maybe give me two teams in the West, two teams in the East who you think have real potential to make it.
I mean, clearly it's going to be OKC, and then it's obviously the Spurs.
Now, are you one of those that say the refs are really helping OKC out? Because there's a lot of chatter about how the way that the game is being refereed seems to be completely one-sided.
No. I disagree with that. I will say they kind of do favor a certain player a little bit, and to me, that player either A is generally fouling other people, or B, there's no foul at all. And we talk about SGA, man. SGA, when he kicks his feet out, he kicks his feet out while someone is just standing there and they call a foul. This is why I talk about the NBA rules are just garbage. But shout out to SGA, because he is clearly one of the best players in the league by far, if he's not top 5 best player in the league. On the East, I'm gonna say this right now, man.
Johnny Felton, what up?
76ers with a hurt Joel Embiid, and what they're doing right now, causing issues for New York. Even though New York won last night, they're dangerous. The problem is, yes, y'all, Joel Embiid is the real factor, but the main factor is not Maxey. The main factor is Paul George. If Paul George gets his business together, they're gonna be hell for the East. But I definitely got to give it to New York, man. I feel like New York will beat the Pistons. Yeah, New York gonna beat New York. New York will beat the Pistons.
So they gonna beat them. I saw something out there to where apparently it's quote unquote leaked information about who the NBA has going and winning the chip. All I saw is that apparently they have the New York Knicks actually winning the NBA championship this year. Now we don't know if that's going to happen or not, but it's interesting based on what you said. You see them as a valuable team to be able to make it. So we shall see.
Yep.
As a Lakers fan, I'm furious about the game. Officiating has been terrible in the OKC series. Okay, so here we go. And they have to slow ball when Embiid plays.
Facts.
Yeah, Embiid's not necessarily the fastest guy.
Nope. You know what? Listen, honestly, if Joel Embiid was healthy, with the question I have for y'all, do you guys think Joel Embiid would be a top 2 player in the league? Healthy, yeah. And that's the scary thing. He's not even close to healthy. My man is giving y'all like 26 a game. Coming back off their surgery,
I think
nasty.
I think it's interesting because I honestly think he probably plays at a weight 15 to 20 pounds heavier than he should, based on the amount of injuries. Now he does get physical down in the paint. He does play very physical, and that can lead to injuries. But you look at a guy like Jokic. Jokic is he's got some size to him, and doesn't, and he's physical down in the paint also, and he doesn't necessarily suffer injuries like that. So but slowing the game down is not bad either, so long as it's to your advantage.
Yeah. Jay said healthy, man. Yeah, see, Jay, you agree? Healthy, top 2 player, bro. A healthy Joel Embiid, bro. A healthy Joel Embiid. I mean, honestly, a big pause on this, but not only is that big man is skilled, but he can just cause so much damage for people when it comes down to the low post. He can shoot threes, mid range. He can bang with you, to get that layup. Joel Embiid a heavy hitter, man. But I feel like if he don't sit out after this season, I mean, and just kick his feet up, no basketball. I mean, he cannot afford to play basketball and just literally like get himself straight together for next season. And yet, Jay, Paul George does play a fast game, but Paul George his man ain't there no more, bro. How do you score 15 points in the first quarter and then you go 0?
Oh, I'm gonna tell you how. I'm gonna tell you how, and you ain't gonna believe me. You're not gonna believe me. I'm gonna tell you how. Las Vegas.
You said what?
Las Vegas. Bro, I'm telling you, listen.
Vegas
it is too coincidental how a guy could be hot, get ready to possibly hit on a part of a parlay, and then all of a sudden just becomes a shell of himself out of nowhere. I'm telling you right now, it's too many examples of parlays about to hit for people, and then all of a sudden, like the one or two players just decide that they're gonna, SHIT the bed when they're like right on the cusp of the parlay hitting. Too many. Matter of fact, there was one where James Harden was 2 points away from a parlay hitting, and that was going into the second half, and my man ain't score a single basket. When he's a ball hog and constantly shooting, he ain't score a single basket, bro. How is that possible?
So let me say this, man. I don't sports gamble. I don't be like, oh, this person's gonna get 20 points. I don't do those apps, man. That's just me. Jay don't do that. I mean, it does raise some question, but I mean, we could take it back when Vince Carter was just so hot for the first 2 quarters, and Jordan only had 7 points, and then Jordan came back and hit him with 35, and then Vince ain't scored that whole entire second half.
Was that due to defense? Was that due to actual defense playing on him? Because we've seen some play like, all right. There was a game, I forgot who Mike was playing. He had like 10 points in the first half. And the one dude who was guarding him decided like he was going to trash talk him. Mike came out in the second half and put up 35 on the board after he was trash talking. Like, sometimes, I don't know. Sometimes people go into their slumps. All I'm saying, though, is that it seems too coincidental for, especially with the way the game is today, right? The game today is played from the outside in. Too many, the shooting percentage is up across the league for all players, basically. You mean to tell me my man couldn't get 2 points? He couldn't even get to the foul line, bro. Couldn't even get to the foul line to shoot 2 free throws the entire 24 minutes of the second half? Come on.
I'm gonna say this. I'm not switching up, but I gotta say this about New York. Your boy Cat, man. Your boy Cat. Listen, I don't care about people saying, "Oh man, he's a great facilitator. Start facilitating." Hey, guy, you need to grab your cojones and you need to start scoring, bro, because you cannot leave it up to Jalen Brunson to lead that team every night. You got a big body. You need to be hitting those 12-foot, 15-foot jump shots. And I mean, listen, I think Cat is just like, his mind ain't right. Like he has turned to a soft player, bro. He has turned to a player who's just laid back. And when he want to get you, he want to get you. But he's not a top 10 player. I don't even know if he's a top 15 player because he's too inconsistent. He's too inconsistent, man. And he's in his prime. He's not on a down slump. He's living in his prime, and he's looking like right now his prime is done.
Who?
For Cat, for New York.
Yeah.
Right. Josh Hart defense is the reason why Josh Hart starting. Josh Hart can't score for nothing. He is not a good scorer. But in terms of like being that knick-knack player, that's why he's there, right? And so he does play his role. But when he can get you some layups, when he can hit layups, New York is dangerous. New York is dangerous. But I feel like honestly, I feel like the Spurs can beat OKC as long as Victor Wembanyama is aggressive. As long as he aggressive, I feel like the Spurs gonna have it. But the other factor for them, uh, De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox has to be Sacramento Fox. If he's not Sacramento Fox, he cannot be the third or fourth best player on that team. That ain't gonna work. That's not gonna work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Baseball guy said Embiid 7 feet 280. Jokic is 6'11, 280.
So they're damn near
identical.
Identical, yeah. But that doesn't mean that Embiid should be at 280 if he's suffering all those injuries. Maybe he should be more around 270. 265, 270. Let's see here. They should have never let betting become legal. It's affected all. Yes, 100%. You see it in the college ranks. You see it. I've seen Division II games that were bet on to where they showed some what is it? Some suspect decisions. Like, bro, there was one game. This was Division I. I forget what the spread on the game was. There was 4 seconds left. The team that was winning was about to punt. Okay, bro, they were on their own 45 about the punt. Okay, why, when they snapped the ball, did the kicker catch it, turn around, and run 45 yards the other way into the end zone for a safety, which completely destroyed the spread bet? First off, it took him more than 4 seconds to reach the end zone. What was that about? Bro, I'm telling you, like, there's way too many incidences that go on to where you're watching it and you're scratching your head, and then you go and look at what some of the betting lines were for that game, and you're like, oh, come on. Because all you got to do a lot of times is watch where a lot of people are putting their money, and that's when it seems somehow, some way, some magical force has caused what seems to be a guaranteed lock just get completely wiped and Vegas wins. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. All right. Well, PG gets hot first quarter. Go to the huddle. All you hear is, we need to move the ball around more. Then get to Embiid. PG don't want to hear that. I mean,
hey Jay, I respect that, bro.
If he got a hot hand, yeah, they should keep feeding it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Paul, man, listen, Paul George, that Paul George who was with Indiana, and I get it, he's not that young guy no more, but he still is super solid. He's scary, bro. Paul George's skill set is super scary, and this is why Carmelo Anthony's son said that Paul George is his favorite player in the NBA. That's coming from a young man saying Paul George is his favorite player in the league. That lets you know what Paul George can do and what he brings to the table. He just, I don't know, man. He ain't doing it.
Dude said 45 ain't like 20. Yes, yep. I remember that. That's what it was.
Yep. That's right, Ohio.
45 ain't like 23. Yep. Then he came back and dropped like 35 after. Yeah.
Yep. Facts.
I can't stand Chet Holmgren at SGA. Yeah. All right, 9:25, y'all. Appreciate everybody being tapped in. Mother's Day weekend. Today's May 9th. Hopefully you guys have something special planned. Hopefully you've got some reservations already set up, because you know what it's like to try to go somewhere to eat on Mother's Day. If you don't got reservations made, you are SOL right now, especially depending on the area you live in. Like, Jay, I know your area probably every place right now. Reservations.
Yes, sir.
Up. There's people that are going out today.
Smart.
There's people that are going out today, right, for dinner or whatever, and then doing something different than going to the restaurants tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because this is going to be packed. Pandemonium everywhere. They want OKC to be the new Warriors. The problem is the market OKC is in doesn't necessarily afford for them to really be looked at as that type of team. I think markets really have something to do with what the NBA wants to push. Now, it could be. I mean, but I don't know.
So I have to agree with Ohio because one thing I will say this I respect about OKC, and I'm not an OKC fan. Never have been. Don't see me ever being an OKC fan. But they built that team from the ground up. That was not a bought team. I respect that. That is beyond respectable. That was a built team.
Yeah, but that's hard. That's really hard to do because you never know how guys are going to turn out.
So they're cooking. They cooking, man. I mean, honestly, they're going to be hard to beat. I see them winning it all. I see it. But like I said, the only team I think who can really beat OKC is the Spurs. That's the only team. Don't them to any restaurant they want to attend on Father's Day. Seats will be available early.
Yeah, what's up with that, bro? Father's Day comes and they'll go out and buy a bunch of meat or whatever, and then dad got to go cook it all. Like, hold on.
Bruh. Listen, man.
You put me in work on Father's Day?
I'm not gonna get into that yet. I'm gonna hold off on that. I'm just gonna get a Mother's Day.
And
props.
Speaking of which, I guess we might as well get into it here in a second, bro. The world's best dad, Jordan 3s. How you feel about those?
No look pass.
You said, yo, show with the Father's Day. He said the Father's Day facts. Mr. Think they got you out there grilling a bunch of meat? Pause. On Father's Day, you better tell your son, step up, do something.
Hey,
tell your son and daughter, step up. Do something.
For me, for Father's Day, bro, I don't want anything for Father's Day. Don't give me nothing. Only thing I want for Father's Day is peace.
Jay's like, I don't want to be disappointed. Don't say nothing to me. Just
don't give me nothing.
Matter of fact, get me a masseuse or something.
I just want peace, bro. I just want peace.
What she need to look like, Jay?
Huh?
What the masseuse need to look like?
Oh, I don't really go to. I don't really get massages, man. If I do get a massage, hey, don't put that oil on me. No problem. Don't put no oil on me, bro. Don't do that,
bro. Speaking of.
Straight up, I ain't into it.
Man, let's see. I don't have a team. I support LeBron. Once he retires, I probably won't pay attention that much to the NBA. Yeah, I mean, there's always somebody that helps draw you in to the league. He said that Diddy massage.
Oh my God. Yeah, Jerry Flight. Don't put don't put that oil on me.
Shoot.
Oh, y'all are funny, man.
Man. All right, man. So let me see if I can find this article here. Snkrs app.
Yeah, the girl that listen. I mean the Father's Day Air Jordan 3s is cool. I might grab and do a review on y'all, but I don't know, man. It's kind of like a pass for me, honestly. It does mirror the carpet, which I mean I like the idea. Don't get me wrong. I like the idea, but I don't know, man. I'm definitely a 3 fan, but I do feel like y'all honestly like what's going on with Nike. Nike is definitely
Well,
and Sugar Booger.
let's introduce this real quick. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So Nike lays off nearly 30% of Snkrs team, according to former employee. So let's see if we get some info down here. So former employee claims Nike laid off 30% of the team behind the platform. She says the org and the people behind Snkrs were obliterated. Let's see here. A former Snkrs employee claims Nike laid off nearly 30% of the team behind the platform, though Nike has not publicly confirmed that figure. She says the org and the people behind Snkrs were obliterated, claiming it the loss of the team she believes transformed and saved Nike. All right, here we go. So there's more here. All right. So Stacy DeVino. Snkrs was a pivotal and dream part of my career, and it just died. The org and the people behind Snkrs were obliterated yesterday. We solved real problems. Oh, also, after I read this, I want to know everyone's reaction because there's some things that in here that when I was reading the comments on X last night, that was it made me laugh. All right, we solved real problems. We solved scale problems that no one in the industry was solving while bringing a genuine voice, citing the culture of the street with sports lifestyle and bringing light to unique stories that resonated. Every Saturday morning was a DDoS attack where sometimes 100 million users would be trying to get their hands on one of 5K total pairs. Insane new problems that have never been solved before. All of this was happening while developing unique brand voice driven by the whole org, which innovated and voted on what we would build next, and even physical product development to leverage the creativity across boundaries. I started on Snkrs the Monday after the Friday that they had to let go nearly 30% of the company. Snkrs transformed and saved Nike. That innovative spirit and magic in the bottle, Nike failed to keep that investment in the people who made it happen. We completely changed how digital e-commerce can work and the nature of brand storytelling. I can't wait to watch or even be a part of the future documentaries and stories from those days. For now, let's try to bring all these fine people who were affected to new homes to leverage their craft style and perspective with brighter lights in our industry.
Well, I'm gonna say this, man. Like, no, when it comes to business, it doesn't matter how great of an employee you are, how much work you put in. At the end of the day, the head honcho will stay, and everybody else got to go. Why? Because they're gonna go ahead and get their bonus pay. A lot of this stuff really deals with bonus pay, and this is where greed comes in when it comes into business, right? These executive directors, they let 10% of the population go, but they go ahead and they get a $10 million bonus. You already making millions of dollars. Why not? Right? Either take half of that bonus money or don't take none of it, which we know is not going to happen, right? And keep people employed. Because again, when money don't circulate, when you lose valuable employees, it's a bad look on the company. This is why I say Nike's in trouble, y'all. Nike's in trouble because lack of innovation, and I keep saying it over and over again. Not only is it lack of innovation, and I'll give you a prime example of what I mean by lack of innovation. I've been harping for this whole entire year, where's Wembanyama sneaker at? Nike on Snkrs app, if you go look at it, go scroll down, it says Wembanyama GT Future. So you mean to tell me Wembanyama's first sneaker was a Wembanyama kick, and now he has to share with the GT Future cut low? Please explain that to me. Explain it. And that's where it goes with what I said, when you have too many people, too many athletes on your payroll, you lose sight. You lose sight. This is it right here. And I'm not saying this is a bad shoe, y'all. I'm just simply stating facts.
Wait, what was the first silhouette?
Alien.
No. That was the theme, but what was the silhouette?
It was something new.
I'm gonna look that up while you.
Okay. It was a different design. That's what I remember. Right. So someone who's as a sniper as he is, as popular as he is, now he has to share a GT. That's crazy. Tyler's World said yes. He said directors. Absolutely, Tyler's World. He also said unless we are really doing inventory management and stuff like that, it seems like these are glorified social media directors. Everything that was done on the Snkrs app could easily be done on the Nike's app. And honestly, it makes no sense to have two apps. Now, peep script, right? If you notice, Nike wants to draw a lot of people over to the Nike's app. So what do?
No, Snkrs app.
Mine 001 and the Mine 002, they do their raffles on the Nike's app because they want you to go over there and buy their article of clothing. They're hoping to do that. So they got something that's really hype that you guys really want and hoping that you guys buy additional items, additional accessories on the Nike's app.
So real quick, Jay. So these are the GT Hustle 2s.
Okay.
So it's not actually, and these are the GT Cut 4s.
Correct.
So they're not that. It's not off base, is what I'm saying. Seeing as how the first silhouette was the GT, was a GT joint. This one, GT Hustle. It's not that off base. I'll give them that. It's not that off base. It's part of the GT Hustle line. Let's just say.
Okay.
That. So,
and I guess it's all perspective, right? This what you're saying is facts, but if you just type in GT2.
Yeah,
right?
I know they're using it's the low version,
right? It's not
the Wale joint.
Correct. That's all I'm saying.
Correct, but they're not making the GT Hustle 2 anymore, are they? Look what I have there. Look at the orange pair. So it actually falls in line because his first shoe was the GT Hustle 2. His second shoe was a GT Hustle 3. And so now the newest one is the GT4. So it's actually following the script.
Okay. So listen, I'm not.
That's all I'm saying. I didn't know, but now that I see it in front of me, I'm like, okay.
But do you feel like he should have his own shoe? He has to share a shoe. He's sharing a line.
Is he? Well, who had the GT Hustle first?
Yeah, let's look.
I don't remember anyone else that had the GT Hustle to begin with, except him.
Let's see.
The only thing they did was they made a high top joint and had Wale be the spokesperson for it.
That to me, he's sharing the shoe.
It's not the same shoe though. It's part of the same family, but it's not necessarily the same shoe. And we didn't necessarily care when Carmelo Anthony was part of Jordan Brand and a bunch of other athletes were part of Jordan Brand, and they were using Jordan retro silhouettes for them, like the Carmelo Anthony 12s or the not Paul George, Chris Paul, like Chris Paul 13s.
So let me say this first. The original Nike Air Zoom GT Hustle debuted back in 2022, right? It says the GT series focused on elite basketball performance, which is great.
So whose shoe was it?
Hustle 2 released in 2023, widely recognized as a shoe worn by Victor Wembanyama.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Right?
So he was the first.
So, I mean, no. The Nike Air Zoom GT Hustle debuted in 2022. His shoe came out in 2023.
But who was the first mainstream athlete to really be wearing the shoe?
Let's see.
Sounds like Wembanyama.
Let's see.
Because that's what you just read, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's what it said. It didn't say anybody. It just said for 2023, Victor Wembanyama. I just feel like he should have his own. That's all. I get you what you're saying, but I guess it's all perspective.
Let's see here. Everything that was done on the Snkrs app could easily be done on the Nike app. So, correct. But see, the problem is they knew what they were doing. And that's why they made a separate app. Because think about how many times we've gone for shoes and that app has been locked up for a merit of different reasons. 940, y'all. For anybody going for those Mother's Day Jordan 11 lows, like the thing is they can be had on sale. But see, Nike's not that stupid, bro. That's why they're releasing that shoe the day before Mother's Day. Because if they released that joint 2 weeks ago, they know it would sit around, go on sale, and that's when people would buy it. But because it's releasing today, it's like, all right, you know, my mom's seen these joints, she wants them. So the best y'all could do, if you have points for Snipes, Foot Locker Champs, or JD Sports, use some coupons to get these joints.
Yep.
Use some coupons.
Yeah.
You know, don't pay full price for these joints because these will sit around and they will be 25, 30% off in a good 2 to 3 weeks. What was I saying? So it could be. But remember they used to have like the only reason people got on sneakers at well, obviously for the drops or if there was potentially going to be a shock drop when they were doing the videos. After a while, once they realized there was no shock drop, you would see just people fall off the app. And and Nike was constantly looking for ways to increase engagement on the sneakers app. But people were only necessarily going on there if they was having the ability to try to cop something. But a lot of the comments are people complaining about just how freaking difficult. Like, look what they said in the article, bro. Look what they said. I want to go back to this.
Okay. Hey, shout out to everybody in the chat rocking with us today, man. We appreciate all y'all.
We gonna get to all your guys' comments. All right. Every Saturday, we're here. Yep. Every Saturday morning was a DDoS attack where sometimes 100 million users are trying to get their hands on 5,000 pairs. They created their own issue with having such little stock. On top of the fact that they would tell you visually they're trying to prevent botting, but every weekend you saw bots still would eat. Links were still getting what happened when they tried to do the restock on the brick by bricks? The cook groups had the link 3 minutes before. So they was already eating stock before it went live. And then they had to cancel. I
remember
the whole drop.
Yep, I remember that.
Right? So, you know, here, Jeffrey Fleck, just produce way more shoes. But see, that's the thing. It's if you make too many shoes, you've got a bunch of people that go, oh, they made too many pairs. I don't want them. To where I always say, well, that means you didn't really like the shoe. You just wanted to cop it for the clout you thought that shoe was going to bring you. That's a whole other story. And then you got a segment of people to where you're not making enough. And that also contributed to why people started looking at other brands to cop shoes because, you know, you keep trying to get shoes from your quote unquote favorite brand, but your favorite brand is showing you no love. It's like the girl you keep trying to get a little from and you can't get none. It's like, you want to keep chasing her or you want to turn around and see, well, is there anybody else interested in me to where I could have an actual better time with? Oh, you know what? New Balance, she's actually pretty nice to me. And she feel good to be with. And
hey, see Purple Haze in the background.
Who? Is he?
Purple Haze in the background.
What up?
Okay.
What up, Perp? That's weird. So, Perp, you there? Perp. I hear his ass typing.
Yeah, I'm here. I've been here the whole time.
So, what's interesting is I heard a chime and I looked and I didn't see you there initially.
Yeah,
that's weird.
Yeah. It's all good. I got a chance to get front row seat and some popcorn.
What was I saying? Oh yeah. New Balance. She actually kind of nice to me. She treated me nice. You know, Adidas. Me and Adidas back in the day, we actually used to hang out and kick it. Maybe let me see what's up with her. How's she living? Oh, she actually kind of cool. All I'm getting at is people are like, I did like other shoes, but I was mainly trying to get these Nikes, but I can't get them. Let me go cop some stuff I like. That's a little easier to get.
I just honestly think the whole entire sneaker game right now is cooked. Although we understand that all these other brands, they do have a percentage of profitability or profit increase over time, but as a totality, the sneaker market, sneaker industry is in trouble. Um, let's talk about the cost of gas prices. Let's talk about the cost of food. Let's talk about people losing their jobs. People's focus right now is on, hey man, I need to pay these bills, bro. I'm not gonna be out here buying 40 pairs of sneakers, or I'm not worried about sneakers right now. That's another part of the game right now is the economy. So, and then I told you guys also before, it was not a good look when not only sneakers sales, when sneakers are sitting, it does not look good to people who like, everything on sale, I don't want it. It doesn't look good for the brand. Even though we like shoes, we love sneakers, and they're cheaper, it doesn't look good. What else happens with that? Guess what? The stock market. Their stock went down, which was now they have to please their shareholders, which does not look good. I told y'all this was a whole entire ball. I've said it before, and look what's happening. It's happening again. It's happening, and I called it way before then, and it's happening right now. All of this stuff is such a total cycle when it comes to the whole entire merchandising market. That's just part of that's part of the game.
With advancements of social media and technology, what once was a big operation can now be run by close to a single or a crew of people. That's what they tell you.
Morning, Jason.
That's what they tell you, but I don't know. I don't know. As someone who worked in IT, they try that nonsense all the time, and the next thing you know, they pulling people in from other teams to try to help out because it's not necessarily going the way they thought it was going to go. But that's a whole other situation. People said Nike was too big to fail. No company is too big to fail, especially when people get greedy.
Facts.
So
Here we go.
greed is definitely hurt them. Now, there is some I would say there is some truth to Nike is too big to fail. There is some truth to, now they're not too big, pause, to have problems. They're not too big to, to, how should I put this? Some of the world's top car manufacturers, sometimes they go through a slump. And then it takes some work and some new brand trust to bring them back up,
I mean, listen, no company is safe. No company is safe. Let's talk about Sears. Look how huge Sears was. Look how it was used to be called the Sears Tower. Now it's called the Willis Tower. I mean, any company has a chance to fail. I mean, look what happened to Pontiac.
Well, Pontiac was a division of General Motors
Correct.
that
But again, they ain't brought them back.
you're right, but because GM, I mean, there's GM itself,
Yeah.
and then there's Chevy, and
Correct.
then there's also what is the other brand under GM?
GMC, which we already said
Well, I
GMC.
said
Pontiac.
GMC. There's another one though, Lincoln. No, that's
Lincoln
Ford.
is Ford.
Lincoln is Ford.
Hmm.
What the heck is the luxury division of General Motors?
It's Buick.
Buick. Thank you.
Mhm.
Buick's still around. Yeah. The app works a little better as the website will be inaccessible for good drops, most like other sites. Did I tell you guys 3 years ago the perfect pair was full of shit with those signatures? Good morning, fellas. What up?
Ah,
I
so
definitely did. He didn't even realize that Michael Jordan hasn't worn a white shoe in the playoffs since 1988. So how could a true red white 13 be from the same series as the last? Oh, I see what he getting into. He getting into what's his name? Yeah, we gonna get to that too. We ain't even there yet. In fact, we ain't even got to that yet. We
I
talking
like it.
about the Sneakers app stuff right
I
now.
like it. Okay.
Let's see here. He had to push something out as Wemby playing in playoffs.
Facts,
Got my
Jay.
son, the alien Wemby's. Those things are fire. Yes, they are.
Yeah, they are.
Jason, what up?
Yes, sir.
I mean, produce more shoes that are hype and less that nobody wants. That's true too. They do that nonsense. They know what shoes the people want, and those are the ones that people are trying to track down and the headache to try to cop. And it makes no sense, bro, how it seems to be the same accounts are the ones that always hit. It's like, it's one thing if you've got, let's say you got five special drops in a year, right? How is it one account can hit all five consistently every year? And your account can't even hit once. And then you end up hitting like on something you didn't even necessarily want. Like it makes absolutely no sense. And then they try to tell you, oh, the more you interact with the app, the better your chances are going to be to hit on shoes. But remember when we used to have Sneakerhead on a budget? Remember he said he found that he actually hit on more shoes, more hype shoes, the less time he spent on the app. And he thought it was because the way the algorithm was set up, it was trying to get you to have more interaction with the app if you hit on something that was more hyped.
Yeah, he said that. I remember.
And then they also thought the theory was that they also thought that that's why a lot of female accounts would hit on hype shoes because they were trying to draw more women onto the app as well by having a lot of female accounts hit. That's why some of the dudes on here sometimes when we go live, they'll say like, "Hey, my wife hit, but my account did not," and my wife doesn't ever go on the app, or she just downloaded it today and she already hit. So it seems a lot of times that there's, what is it, anecdotal evidence? Is that the right term I'm looking for, Perk?
Correct.
Anecdotal evidence to say that, for people who don't spend as much time on the app, they're trying to get them to draw in more, and they're trying to draw more females into the app as well by having them be able to hit on more hyped releases. Let's see here. Oh, it's Purple Hazes. They should just do pre-orders on popular releases. And Nigel Ford,
So I wanna chime in on that.
Okay, I'll leave it.
So
up.
you know what, Ohio, I do like the direction of the pre-orders, but here's the problem with the pre-orders, bro. We're gonna be waiting 5 months for for
Yeah, like where the Kobe's at.
right. So I'm still waiting on the Kobe's. I'm still waiting on the slides as well, the grass slides that I pre-ordered, right? I do like that what Nike is doing. Nike, and the reason why I like it is because I feel this is my opinion. The pre-orders, they're only gonna make a certain amount, right? Because they only have the pre-orders app open for a certain amount of time, right? Whatever that may look like. So they're making our order, and Nike is not missing out on money. Nike not missing out on money. And what I mean by missing out on money, they make the shoe $8 a shoe, right? $20 a shoe, and they sell it for 150, right? So they're not losing any money when it comes to full profitability. they're not losing any money. So that means, hey, none of these sneakers will be sitting on the shelf. That's what I do like about it, because from a bit, and I'm Jay speaking from a business perspective, their profitability, they hold on to every single penny, every single dollar, opposed to that shoe going to sit in the Foot Locker and then it's like it's just sitting. So now they have to reduce the price. Now guess what? They made less of a profit.
Yeah, because to your point, there are some people that are looking to hit on those shoes to quickly flip. Right? You know, a lot of people are doing that. They didn't necessarily have the money for the shoe to begin with, which is why they bought it on the credit card. So they're hoping to get the shoe in the next few days to quickly flip and pay off whoever they got to pay off to make a few dollars. But now if you do a pre-order, like for example, those Kobe Dunks, when are they coming out? July?
Probably. And if you look at the resale on them, which I know is a terrible, to me, that's a terrible indicator, because we have we have the pre-order, but you know, you can't get the shoe because you only can get the shoe if Nike makes it, which they haven't clearly made it or push it out. If you look at that Kobe Dunk, look how much is going for right now.
What is it?
Right. The last time I looked, it was like, I don't know. Was it like 800?
Hey, shout out to Jason Court. Cadillac. That's what I was thinking of. I couldn't remember it. Cadillac is the luxury version for General Motors. Buick is too, but Cadillac more so.
Yeah, no, 1,000% right. Shout out to you, Jason.
Shout out to you for that. Appreciate
you know
that.
What I'm saying?
Here we go. Johnny said if they made 600,000 of the bricks, they would sell out. 400,000 of bin threes, they would sell out. Not at $350 though. Not at $355. They wouldn't.
Let me share this right quick.
Hold on. Let me finish reading this. They would sell out. They hype a shoe, but they need to know the audience is seeking collabs. No, you can't please everybody. That's facts. But I don't think they're selling bin threes. They're selling out at $355. I don't think so. But let's just see.
I think so.
You think at $355, bro? Nah.
Yep, I think so. Yep.
Bro, look how many people complained at the price of the Bread High 85s until they said, well, it's only 10,000 pairs.
Hey,
so
listen, you do a pre-order for 30 minutes, 10 minutes. Not everybody at that time is gonna hit that pre-order. So then what happens when the shoes come in and people find out, oh, they can't get them in the stores if they really like them? Then that shoe has the potential to boom in resale value. I said potential. Look at this right here. Look what I'm showing y'all for the Kobe pre-order. Now, this shoe ain't gonna hold its value like that, but this goes to show you just something as a people looking like, oh my gosh, I didn't get the pre-order. I should have done it. Look where we at.
But how do they have pairs available to sell?
They don't. I don't think they have pairs available, bro. I think this is just something.
Because if I bought that, let's say I go in there and bought that joint right now, I wonder what it would say.
I just want to show facts to y'all, proof.
Jay, can you do me a favor? Just on the back end, can you just go up to the, for just to see, go all the way to the checkout screen and see if there's a message in terms of potentially when you could end up getting that shoe. You understand what I'm saying? Like put it in the cart, go to the checkout screen and just see what it says. If it says anything about when you would actually get it.
Well, GOAT not gonna ever tell you that, but I get your point. Let me see.
Sometimes they do though. Sometimes they'll tell you if there's going to be a delay in when you'll get them. Let me see here. Reebok was too big to fail back in the day. But has Reebok ever been to the level Nike has been to?
They were number 2.
Because when you really think about it, Nike you know what? The Roman Empire fell, so anything can happen. But what was the issue with the Roman Empire? They became too vast. They became too vast to watch over it all, essentially. Drop a PE and they will sell out. Yeah, they will. A legit PE though, because they did do the Howard PEs. Are you talking about they did do like the college PEs for some of the schools? But if they dropped like the Michigan, UNC, if they dropped, those power schools, they would. What did it say, Jay?
It's expected to be shipped July 25th.
That's what it says.
Yeah, expected.
So if you bought it right now, you'd have to wait till July 25th for it to ship, possibly, is what it tells you.
Yep. Yes, wow. I didn't go through the GOAT app. I just went on ahead and did some research, and it was just saying that, hey, that reserve pre-orders and details, like even through GOAT, because I accessed it potentially looking at maybe around July, potentially.
So GOAT said that?
No, just through research.
That's why I was asking what GOAT would tell you if you tried to buy it, seeing as how they have them listed on there for sale. Because then, to me, that seems like that pre-order thing is kind of BS. Because if you can buy and they'll send it to you within a week from GOAT, is it legit pre-order? That Pontiac GTO. Yep.
Pontiac GTO is definitely one of my favorite vehicles of all time.
All right. If they made $500K on Alaska ones, they would make a bank even at $250 each.
Listen, I agree with Jeffrey Flight 1,000%. That VA8, listen, that VA8 everybody wanted. There are certain shoes that people just don't care if there's an abundance of them. There are those specialty shoes like that, and the VA8 is definitely one of them. It's definitely one of them.
Maybe. Them blue tile SBs are really nice. Yeah, we'll get back to what's on there in a minute. There's a lot. It's 10:03 for anybody going for the Mother's Day Jordan 11 lows. Tomorrow is Mother's Day, y'all. Let's see here. Appreciate that. Smash the like. King Midas.
Yes, sir.
What up with you, my guy? What up with you? All right, they're going to be waiting like they did on those Zo2 triple Bs. Zo2 triple. What shoe was that? I don't remember that. PI Soulfly, what up with you?
Soulfly, what's up, family?
They could also be overturning their staff, hiring new employees at lower rates and less benefits where times are tougher.
Yep. Or Jason, I agree with Jason 1,000%. Or you know how sometimes they fire employees and they rehire those employees at a lower rate.
Yeah.
That's part of the game too. Facts.
Yep. Sound theory. My girl hits on more shoes than I do. Not complaining since she shells with the dubs. Yeah, I mean, so that's what I'm saying. Like, they want more interaction from women. So it's almost like the algorithm is somewhat put in favor of women hitting more. Like, for example, I remember the first time I got a Travis Scott retail was when I was with my ex. She hit on a Snkrs app in my size on the medium olives.
Yeah.
I missed last week's stream, but I did pick up the band ones. Nice. So glad they're sitting. What a time to be a collector. I hope it's the same for the Bread 4s and Space Jams. See, around holiday time, that's going to be interesting to see what happens come holiday time. I don't think they're going to sit. I don't think so.
I don't think it's gonna sit, but I'm gonna say, what I like Soulfly, what he did right here. Those Bread 4s, bro, are still fresh when it comes to a release. So, and I said it again, man. Nike is showing signs of trouble. I'm really curious how they're going to release these Bread 4s. Will they kind of make them not limited but obtainable, or they just going to flood the market? Are they going to flood the market because it's too soon? Now, those Space Jams, people are going to lose their mind for the Space Jams. Those going to sell out. But those Bread 4s, I'm just curious what's the play. I'm very curious what's the play on that. I feel like it's going to do well, but at the same time, I'm just saying, like, again, we've seen this shoe retro too many times, too soon.
So are you going to keep the reimagined Bread 4s, or are you going to sell them?
I haven't even thought about it. Only thing I have thought about was getting rid of my 2018 pair if I like the 26 pair better. I have to consider that. Was it 2018 or 20? Yeah, whenever these dropped.
Yeah.
Whenever.
I mean, if you want to do it, you might as well do it now before they release.
Nah.
Well, so for example, I have the what year did the Gamma 11s? Remember, I had the other pair, and I went to the shop, and dude said, he goes, look, he said, because the Gamma 11s just re-released, he goes, we're more interested in getting those than we are having the previous pair before it. He said, had they not released yet, he said, the profitability would be better.
Yeah.
But,
not me. Nope. Nope, not me. I'm gonna wait. But I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might keep that pair. I don't know. And the reason why I say I'm not against that, the reason why I say I am against doing that is because first you got to figure out what pair you like better.
Hold on a second. But you've got multiple white cement 4s. You got the 2016.
Yeah.
You got the 2025.
Yeah, they're not for sale.
So that's why I asked.
Yeah.
If you would get rid of the reimagined Bread 4.
Nope. I wouldn't get rid of the reimagined. Nope.
Interesting. Okay.
I wouldn't do it.
Are you going to keep the reimagined Royals when the leather Royals come out?
Yes, I'm keeping that.
Yeah, I'm keeping it too.
I'm keeping it. I'm not getting rid of them for
I like the reimagined Royals.
I don't mind people slept. I don't mind if people slept on them. I don't mind.
Speaking of which, I will be after we get off the stream. I'm gonna try to make my video here on the bread loaves.
There you go.
Try to make that video for y'all. It's hard to let go of paper in this economy. We get facts. I was just talking about this yesterday. So I have a 23 Jeep Grand Cherokee, and the max capacity of the gas tank is 23 gallons. Now, I frequently be hitting up Wawa around here in South Florida because I be using the points. And then, every so many points you can use to get like 10 cents, 15 or 20 cents off a gallon. So I've been doing that a lot. Anyways, bro, I went from $60 to fill my tank to now it's mid-80s to fill my tank now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So now it's like a $15 to $20 increase of what it costs to fill my tank.
See, this is the difference between me, man. Like, this is
I run on regular.
Listen, this is why I let my car sit. I got a tricycle, man. So listen,
I got a Depot. You got a Depot.
I got that tricycle, man. So
it don't squeak?
No, I don't squeak.
They know you coming.
Hey, y'all be like, James, why you still getting shoes, man? Because I'm using that tricycle, man. That tricycle saving me some gas money, man. I'm tricycling it up on y'all.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. My company recently did the same. Got rid of most of the staff in mass and hired outside of the state. Not only they hired outside the state, they probably hiring outside the country at that.
Sad.
They probably hiring outside the country.
Sad.
Let's see.
Sad.
How is StockX still operating?
Jason C.
I'm gonna tell you how. Because if you go on there, listen. We should have. I wish he had made this comment before the drop at 10 o'clock. Because we could have looked up the women's Jordan 11s, and I bet you there would have been sales on the shoe already.
Oh, they were already like that.
Like, and mind you, there's probably under retail, but we've seen in the past there are shoes that haven't even released yet
Yep.
that people were paying over retail for on the secondary apps that were sitting in the stores on release day. And it's like, do you have no patience? You
But
just
not only that,
order them on StockX, like.
but we've also seen shoes before they release, they already going for under retail.
Yeah, but that makes sense to get them then. But I'm
Yeah.
saying, Jay, the shoes over retail on the secondary market.
Mm-hmm.
It releases in store, and it's sitting there.
So this is where I said a while ago that I do feel like all of these brands, they have deals with StockX, Go, Flight Club. They have a backdoor deal, no pause on that. And because they already know these shoes are sitting, they have a deal with sending them pairs for this amount of money, and they sell it. There's a backdoor deal that goes on. I've said this plenty of times.
Facts.
There's backdoor deals that goes on, right?
Well, doesn't Foot Locker own Goat and Flight Club?
Not that I know of.
I thought some shoe store owns one of them.
They do. They do.
That's
It's
what I
Foot
thought.
Locker?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Perk, you've been quiet on the subject, and I just want to know, as best as you can articulate, seeing as how your business has partnerships, right, with some of these things out here.
Mm-hmm.
How do you overall view what's going on?
I mean, it's no different than what we see with, Kellogg. It's no different than what we see with any type of industry across the board, right? You go through a massive transition because of dipping in stocks, because of consumer trends, because of socioeconomic valuations that are heavy contributing factors to the sale of your product, and you pivot from there. I mean, we've gone through, how many CEOs with Nike over the course of the last 10 years or so, and I always use 10 years as an indicator, because when you're pulling up a 10K report, right, they go in yearly increments, but from an overall consumer bucket, it's always a 10-year basket. So we're just seeing a massive repositioning right now. Nike, they made some very terrible missteps with this previous CEO, and Elliott Hill, the current CEO right now, is really trying to right size that. But in order to right size that ship, you have to make yourself marketable, right? You have to make yourself, more importantly, profitable. They have not been profitable. The shareholders and the board members are in an uproar right now because the stock prices are dipping day by day by day. They are hemorrhaging more money than anything. So when you're in a situation like that, what do you do from the top down, right? When you're hemorrhaging money from your business perspective, your bottom line, you cut cost, right? You cut spend, and that comes in the form of offshoring, right, which Nike has been a huge proponent of. It comes in the form of layoffs. There was an article that I sent over to Jay a while back. Tim Bisforic, he's the head of engineering, right, around that whole team that got laid off at the that supports the Snkrs app. He lost his job as well. And I think honestly, I can contribute that to AI, right? Nike is trying internally to automate a lot of those processes that a lot of those teams ran. And if you're switching over to a fully, automized system, then guess what? You don't have employees to pay, right? It's free work. That's the first way that you trim the fat. The first wave of trimming the fat is layoffs and automating a lot of those manual processes. Nike feels like, hey, we don't need this team to do it. I think they laid off 30% of
That's what we were. Yeah, that's what the article said. 30% of the Sneakers app staff.
Yeah, now those are developers, those are engineers, right? That's not necessarily management. Of course, Tim is a huge casualty from the management side, but they left the rest of the management team intact. So, with that being said, they have to be there to kind of quarterback how some of these automated processes run moving forward. And where your kicks, you know better than anything. Even when you have automated processes involved, you still have to have a manual thumbprint somewhere involved in that.
Correct. And they find out after the fact they don't have enough manual thumbprint, so now they pull people from other teams in to help.
Correct.
Yeah, which is called what? It's called a reorg, right? So they're going to do that reorg, and they're going to move around resources, and they're going to try to send more aspects of the business offshore as well. I mean, they have a huge thumbprint in India right now for a lot of their offshoring. Mm-hmm. So they're going to try to go to Hyderabad and expand that footprint even further to kind of offset those costs. And this is what we're seeing right now. It's always tumultuous period of time when we see companies go through this massive transition, trying to find their footing. And, it started with this whole basketball talk, right? Man, we got too many cooks in the kitchen. Man, too many of these athletes have shoe deals, right? What are we doing right now? Because we're just stepping on our own toes, on our own feet at that point, pun intended. So you start there. And then what's the next wave? Well, you start layoffs. What's the next wave? You start automating a lot of those manual processes. What's the next wave? You start doing everything in your power to appease to those board of directors and those board members in order to right size the ship and get those stock prices back up.
And unfortunately, those board members aren't the ones who actually have the really good ideas, as
exactly.
people who are boots on the ground.
Yeah.
So they get to keep their jobs because of the financial aspect of it. But, they're scrambling. They're scrambling to try to move things forward, and they don't know how because, they're just the brain trust at the top in a financial aspect. But the real boots on the ground people who have the innovation, who have the ideas, who, understand and actually have their ear to the streets and understand what the people are saying and asking for, those are the ones they're losing, and they're looking around like, we don't know what to do. We don't know what to do.
The real talent, yeah, the
real talent you're getting rid of.
Yeah,
all because you're trying to make your shareholders happy. But if your shareholders are intelligent enough to see what's going on, you see that this is just a temporary visual by laying off people to cut operating expenses to make you look Truth be told, they have not made more money. They look more profitable than what they really are because they've cut down on their operating expenses. It's like, if it's costing me $5,000 a month to operate and I'm bringing in profit of $6,000, well, if I'm able to cut my operating expenditure in half to where now I can potentially do the same thing for $2,500, well, now it looks like, right? Now it looks like I'm making $8,000 versus the $6,000 I was making before because I was able to cut down on my operating expenditures. But again, it's a smoke and mirrors type situation because eventually you find out it's going to bite them in the ass, as it is happening to a lot of companies out there. That's why, like Microsoft, Amazon, a lot of these companies have let go people, and now they're trying to find people to bring back in because it's not necessarily working to the capacity they thought. Matter of fact, I think it was NVIDIA said that the operating expenses of running AI has now become more expensive than what it did when they were paying people to do the same jobs.
What a shock.
Yeah.
Because they have to spend billions to build these data centers.
And look at the expenses it is to keep them up and running. That's why I said, was it Jay? When we did a live, we were talking to where, oh, no. I was talking to the students in this class, and I told them, there are people, if you live around a data center, your electric bill has actually gone up because in a lot of these areas, they're spreading the cost out to the people who live within a certain mile proximity of the data center. Also, your water bill has gone up because they need a massive amount of water to assist in cooling of these data centers as well.
So you got to think about too with AI, right? AI is not perfect, everybody. AI makes mistakes. AI makes mistakes. AI is still learning, and
AI lies, it hallucinates.
You know, and honestly, this is why I go back and say I give New Balance credit. Every New Balance is not made here in the States, and I said it 1,000 times, and there's people who disagree with me, and that's cool. That's why New Balance is still, how's New Balance able to create some sneakers, at least here in the US, and Nike cannot do it? It makes no sense. I don't care. I get it. New Balance is not the biggest brand out there. I get it. But guess what? They're still growing in profit, but they still make at least something here in the States. So for me personally, I gotta grab a New Balance just off the strength alone when they sometimes put on there made in the USA.
Yeah, I was going to say that, and the fact that some of the shoes are made here in America.
You know,
so
regardless if the materials come from wherever, it doesn't matter. But I mean, I'm talking about that joint was put together here.
But think about what it costs to pay those people to work in that factory, right? Way more than what it costs to be paying people over in like China and Taiwan. So they're operating, so they have an operation here in America where they build the shoes, are paying quote unquote American wages to those employees, and they are profitable, right? Like to your point, like you're not hearing about massive layoffs from like New Balance and these other brands and stuff like that. Like it's I think Nike is way too corporate. Way too corporate. And it's, you know, because they got to the size that they got to as being, because remember there was talks of people seeing Nike as like a pseudo luxury brand due to the exclusivity of some of the shoes and stuff that they have. And I think part of what's going on is the powers that be, the board members, have lost vision of their what Nike's real identity is, and it doesn't necessarily resonate with the people anymore. They're trying to resonate with a whole different demographic outside of athletics while still trying to somehow maintain that they are an athletic brand.
Well, I mean, it goes back again. People are more active now, right? Whether that's riding bikes, walking, running, working out, and people are looking for an all-purpose sneaker. People aren't necessarily just looking for a basketball shoe, and then they can't put it on outside and look good doing X, Y, and Z. They have to look at getting into that lifestyle vibe, right? And I'll tell you another lifestyle vibe shoe that everybody, you know, people say, oh, it's the granddaddy shoe, it's the old dad shoe. You got to get props to New Balance. You got to get props to them. You got to give props to certain people who out there who say, guess what, man? I like rocking on. And some people say, I can just rock on and I can put on just a casual attire and I can just go about my way after working out. Whether you like the shoe or not, the comfortability, the sneaker that can go ahead and take you up a mountaintop, and then it can put you in a chair on a date. That's what people want. They're not looking for a straight basketball shoe, and there's nothing like those Ja Morants, right? I saw someone on a short. He said that the Ja 3s is great, which I think the Ja 3s are great, but then he said the Ja 4s are trash because there's nothing you can do with them outside with a fit. And I was just like, well, you just don't know how to dress, because to me, those Ja 4s is better than the Ja 3s. And you can do more tires with the Ja 4s, look better than the Ja 3s. And you can be on the court with them. That's just my opinion. But again, it's all perspective. It's all perspective. But that went beyond a GT4, you can rock that with some stuff. You can. But I think the way the younger generation mind works when it comes to putting fits together is mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. Their minds are somewhere else. They're not into that like how we were, right? They just want to put on some slides, some white socks, even though the white socks is gonna get dirty outside. They're gonna walk outside and do their thing. So again, how do you target those people, man? You gotta target the right audience.
And you got to get back to your roots. All right, so here we go. So y'all see how supposedly Nike said athletes aren't as popular today. If they actually said that, do you think they're going to start cutting contracts on a few athletes? I mean, they already have. They cut Zion. Who else did they cut? They cut someone else too.
It was one other person. But
someone else they cut.
You know what, Ohio, bro? I'm gonna say this, man. I'm not wishing for anybody necessarily to get cut, but the reality is yes, they have too many people on their payroll. And I'm gonna be honest with you. People laugh at me when I say this. The smartest person, LaMelo Ball, he's really the one who really started the movement of athletes going to other brands. Listen, he's the catalyst.
Well, remember they tried to do BBB or whatever it was.
Yeah, right. But he's the catalyst. He literally is the catalyst of why other athletes went to other brands. He is the catalyst. Smart. This is why he's not hurting with Puma. Puma, yes, has their financial issues, but guess what? He's the man over there. He is the man. New Balance have a couple athletes on over there. They don't have too many people on a payroll roster. He's the catalyst. It's like Nike picks up any and everybody. I mean, listen. I know we had our debate about Wembyana with the GT cut. I still feel like GT. He's sharing GT. He's sharing it. That's not really him. Look at Caitlin Clark. Look how amazing Caitlin Clark is. And she's under Kobe Bryant, which is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it.
Well, I mean that's more on her because she loves wearing Kobe's.
We don't know that.
She's been wearing them before she even got signed to them.
Correct, but she's been Nike said they were going to give her own shoe. How long has it been?
You're right.
How long has it been?
I don't know.
Right? And there's nothing wrong with being under someone else's brand. There's nothing wrong with being under Jordan brand. But when we talk about having an abundance of athletes, you lose sight of man, how many shoes can you really produce something unique to the market for this person? Well, because the Kobe 6 are selling out, make that collab with them. And I said it also in 2026. What's winning in 2026, bro? Collabs is winning for all brands. Let's just be honest. 2026, collabs is what's really winning. Mm-hmm. That's what's winning. Opposed to last year and the previous years, it's the collabs that's winning. It's going to be very hard to find a sneaker to put in the top 10 sneaker 2026 that's not a collab. I said it.
Well, you have a point, and to a certain extent,
To a certain extent, yeah.
But I don't know. It's like when you really break it down, it's like how many Jordan 4s do you really need with all these different
Hey,
brands?
look, hey.
But it's the same thing with Jordan 1s. Like, how many Jordan 1s do you really need? Like the past couple of Jordan 1s, I skipped over. I don't have I liked the Flight Club ones, but I didn't get them. I liked there was another one that came out before it. I can't remember what it was. The VAAs, I liked them. I didn't get them, but I'm like, I don't necessarily care enough to go after that shoe on the resale. It's like,
Yeah.
so as someone who loves Jordan ones, even I'm just kind of like, some of them Jordan ones I don't need. I don't necessarily need them. Now, when the leather Royals come out, as of right now, I'm saying I'm going for them, and I probably will get them. But I also think just the trend of everything going on sale, basically, they could go on sale too.
Let's be honest, right? And panel, take a look in your room. As a sneaker YouTuber, I love like giving you guys reviews, talking about that's just what we do. But let's just be honest, for those who are not like a YouTuber, right? Or a social media person who like drops shoe reviews all the time. If you go in your room and you look in your collection, I really can probably live off the rest of these shoes. I don't necessarily need to have any more shoes, but I do it for the love,
These ones will outlast you.
right? Do it for the love just because this is what we enjoy doing. But honestly, like if you got a huge collection, really, honestly, you really don't need another kick.
So here we go. Yeah, those Alaskas would sit at 500K. Yeah, I'm sure if they made 500,000 pairs across the board, they probably some sizes would be sitting around, in my opinion. Probably the smaller sizes, but there'd be sizes sitting around. Don't forget these AI bots are taking jobs as well. They're trying to.
Yeah.
Now, Bread Force is going to be a word. My thing is because they're releasing them on Black Friday. Yes. I think because they're releasing them on Black Friday, it's going to be pandemonium. Jason Corley, flood the market. I mean, look, they did flood the market, right? Panda Dunks. They flooded the market with those, and look what happened. Most
Rob
people
Z.
it wouldn't be caught dead in pandas.
What up, Rob?
Good morning.
My God.
I loaded sneakers on my wife's devices to help with the Dornbeckers. She got the 17 and the Air Force One, and I literally got hurt feelings. As another example, not only is she a new sneakers app user, but she's a female sneakers app user. So now you talk about a double positive for her being able to try to cop. I'll keep the reimagined force for rainy days and keep that suede on the OG's butter. That's facts too.
You're so fly.
Let's see. Keep reimagined bread. They are a whole different vibe. Okay.
Yep.
Also, with the Carmine Sixes coming out again next year, would you all trade a 21 pair for a pair of 2025 Great Fives?
So fly. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like in my opinion, I would not. And the reason why I'm saying is because, well, you know what? Listen, honestly, the Carmine Sixes, because they coming out, you may want to keep that and see which pair you like better. And the only reason why I talked about this because we had an offline talk about this, how the Toro Bravos is probably going to be a sitter here in the States. It's already in the EU. because a lot of people said that it looks ashy.
Quality's bad.
Not only does it look ashy, we're trying to figure out. Is people say the shoe looks cheap, and we had a conversation about talking about how Nike is probably trying to either change the dye up because of the bleeding, because we already know the 2021 pair, the Carmine 6s, had a bleeding issue, and so we're trying to figure out what's going on. Is it the factory? Is it both? So at the end of the day, in my opinion, I feel like maybe you might want to get rid of those Carmines and then get the breads. But again, we don't know what that 2020 pair red is going to look like.
The trade is for grade 5s.
Yeah, I mean,
so his Carmine 6s for 25 grade 5s.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, with them coming out next year, I mean, it's the same situation like with the new Gammas came out, and it's like, okay, the thing about the old Gammas was the box, the presentation. But technically, you put the two shoes next to each other, it's not necessarily like that big of a distinguishable difference. So it may not be a bad thing to trade the Carmine 6s since they're coming out next year.
It's not.
Debo coming.
It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. But again, like the only question I just say about that is because we understand the materials and colors that dye might not be the same. Listen, just off the simple.
Remember the 21 pair had the midsole bleed, right? Where it was talking about it being pink.
This is what I'm saying. Just the strength off alone, off the dye, bleeding. I'm gonna say yes, but I raised the question because again, we understand that those Toro Bravo 4s, the color code and it doesn't match as the original 2013 pair. So that's the only reason why I said that. But personally, I would take the chance and get rid of that pair for the grade 5s. Just the strength off alone of the bleeding.
So I have a pair of 21 Carmine 6s, and my midsoles look good on them. And truth be told, like, because I have them and they're coming out next year, I'm not necessarily inclined to think, oh, I got to get the newest pair just for them to be sitting around as much as the pair I got now.
Have you wear those Carmines in rain?
Hell no, it's suede. It's suede. I check the weather before I step out.
Okay.
I ain't trying to wear no suede out there when it's raining.
I'm just.
You know how it is in Florida, bro.
I'm just asking.
Leather.
I'm just asking.
So, no, I ain't wearing them in no rain.
Okay.
Hell no.
Okay.
Let's see here. That's me. No patience. Pay high just for the shoe to sit on release days. See? I've gotten better, but still got AJ4 Toro for high and Bloodline 12s.
Yes, sir.
Them 12s is, I feel like they're going to move, but they're going to sit too.
Yes, sir.
Don't feel bad. It costs, what? Never lose to $200 to fill up my dump. Let's see here. We all fixing to have to drive Teslas. Huh. That's what they want. And then, did you hear what they're doing with the new vehicles too? So where now they gotta have all these sensors in there to, man, look.
Detect if you like drunk or anything, and then it'll stop, pull you over, call the cops on you, man. Yeah, kick rocks.
Nike needs to hold back on the releases and stop flooding the market. Allow hype to build and also innovate like other brands that are thriving right now. But see, these other brands here's the thing about that, Jack. Do you feel like these other brands are having record years off hype?
No,
they're not. They're having record years off consistency. So this thing about hype, the hype is only with like most of your Jordan sneaker releases. And that's only a small percentage of Nike's overall. The real thing is the innovation, and then the cost of the Nike product is just skyrocketing. And so, since you don't have necessarily anything distinguishable to where people are like truth be told, okay, I'm gonna keep it a bean, Jay. The thing that a lot of people are buying now due to the new health culture is what? A lot of compression gear. Would you agree? A lot of compression gear and workout shoes. Bro, if I open my Instagram app right now, if you go on Amazon right now, there's a lot of quality compression gear being sold that is 50, 60 to 70% cheaper than your Nike brand stuff out there, and works just as well, if not better. The only brand I would say that really has a hold on people is Lululemon, and that's amongst women. And even then, I don't know how much longer they're going to hold on to that, because a lot of women just like to buy Lululemon, like it's like a status symbol. It's a status symbol to have Lululemon, much like Nike was a status symbol to have 20, 30 years ago. It was, if you ain't got Nike on, you broke. It's not like that no more.
Oh, I'm thinking Sheen. That's cheap. Sheen.
Yeah, you think, yeah. But even then, people are ordering stuff from Sheen, Temu, and stuff, and you got to think too, because people go, "Oh, it's cheap stuff from China." Newsflash, the stuff you mind, look where it's made. China, Taiwan. They're not coming from like Mount Olympus being woven with the threads of the gods, bro. Like, it's the same stuff.
Yeah.
All the technology in the world, it can never replace actual human talent, ideas, just genuine facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Let me touch on this.
Go ahead.
Let me say this, man. This is why Jay says I'm against technology. Technology actually has made humans less intelligent. Technology has also made humans less to the point of being more critical thinkers. And also, technology really kills creativity. Okay? Just creativity. And this is why it's really good to get into music, playing instruments, because it helps with not only the hand and eye coordination, memorization, but also it opens up other parts of your brain. And so when people become dependent on this AI situation, right? This is why a lot of these colleges now, they run these scans, because it's people who will put in, hey, write me a paper about this. People off, after class, man, they over here like sipping on a beer. They ain't even studying, man, because AI did everything. And then it got where to the point where these universities and these high schools like, hey, man, y'all can't do, how are you failing tests, but you can write a dissertation paper so amazing. So this is why they're running these scans now to figure out, hey, are you really like using your brain? Can you write a full sentence, right? And for where people can understand what, to the extent where you're getting your point across.
Mm-hmm.
So Ohio, I agree with 1,000% with you, bro. This is why I say I think technology is good, but I think technology should be at a halt at this given time. Like,
mm-hmm.
it kills a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm. I'll say it again. The AI bubble will burst event. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Call me crazy, but I wear more Reebok clothing than Nike because it's easy and available in Walmart. Nike should go to Walmart. Call me crazy, but it's facts.
Tyler's World. Let me say this, man. People laughed at me when I said, hey, Reebok is on the come up. Reebok is making a comeback. People laughed at me and they said, well, yeah, you can buy Reebok at Walmart. Guess what? Guess what? Reebok sneakers are selling out, bro. And they still got their article of clothing in Walmart.
Treyway Life, appreciate you being tapped in. We said it was going to sit. Air
Yep.
Jordan 11 Mother's Days. You said it was going to sit.
Yep. What up, Treyway?
A lot of people don't know how to dress. They ain't worried about no fashion. They worry about getting money and girls.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole other situation. I mean, that's always been the case, though.
Yeah, but hey, man, they got to put that deodorant on, bro. Mark's forgetting about that deodorant.
The problem now, though, is that. But the problem now is that social media has tainted the view of what's actually possible for the majority of people, in depending on their age demographic.
Yeah.
You know, like, and you can't believe everything you see on social media. A lot of it is smoke and mirrors.
Yep.
And now, because of AI, listen, they've got AI character. Okay, here's a good story for y'all. There was a guy from India who used, I forgot what the program was, but essentially he created an entire OnlyFans account using an AI generated female. And made buku money. I forgot how they discovered it was an AI joint, but you know, it's so social media and what young people are seeing is like basically it's so slanted their viewpoint of real reality that it's just, you know.
Yeah.
Let's see here. No Daddy had a dress
Mm.
After the Jordan Levi collab, the Fragment and the Mine 001 Royal Blue, I'm done.
What up, Grizzly? Appreciate you, Grizzly. What up, Doty? Good morning.
Trey Wells said he's got 30 shoes right now. Okay.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
How many pairs do y'all have in your collection? That's a good question. I know I'm still a little over 100. I know I'm still a little over 100.
I lost count. I'm somewhere a little bit over 2, man. I know I got sneakers.
200?
Yeah, I got shoes in other locations too. Yeah, I'm about over 2.
Same.
Yeah. I lost count.
Yeah, I feel that my collection's small. I got like 15 pairs, some old 350 still in the box, the knit runner boots still in the box, 2 pair of slides still in the box, the ugly 450 still in the box. So that's the thing. Like, there's a lot of shoes we bought at the time, and we just ain't wearing them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we just ain't wearing them. Let's see here. Hold up. Where am I at? Oh, yeah. I got a small collection. I read that already. My bad. Oh, no, he wrote it twice. That's why. This year, I'm cool with what I got. Jordan 3 Levi collab, liquid frags in the royal blue 001s. So I got shoes for a couple years. I just ain't got the money like that. That's all right.
Yeah. I can't afford every shoe, bro. I can't.
That's your algorithm where your case. You looking up compression gear. You see, you try to get right. So it's just the fact that correct, that compression gear is coming up because if you are consuming, let's just say like workout content, then that's just part of what you're going to see. You're going to see workout shoes. You're going to see workout gear. You're going to see supplements. You're going to see different training apps. You're going to see training groups. You're going to see different training influencers. That's what they're going to push to you, right, for consumption, because that's what the things you want to see. Facts. Let's see. You got some old kicks when they just colored from just sitting in the box. I probably won't even get to wear them all. That's what beat up about. That's what I'm beat up about. Mm-hmm. Oh, he said discolored. Yeah.
Mhm.
There is no bubble at all. Profits are real. Mm-hmm. Profits are real based on how they tell the story, though. Because just remember the housing bubble that happened in 2008.
Yep.
Everything was all well and good until SHIT hit the fan, and they saw that they basically killed themselves and needed that government bailout.
Well, you know, the bubble of '08 was actually '07. A lot of people don't realize, but they had massaged the data for so long that they just pushed it out and prolonged it to '08. '08, they couldn't massage the data anymore, and it just burst.
And truth be told, that's where we're not only are we probably going there with AI, and shout out to Q Cardisha. What's up with you?
What up, Q?
But now this hantavirus. I don't know if y'all heard about this hantavirus thing going around now too.
Yep.
I'm telling y'all right now, there ain't gonna be no shelter in place this time. People ain't going for it this time, bro.
Well,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, because the coronavirus, when you really look at it, while people were getting sick from that time, part of what happened to a lot of people was incorrect treatment. Because I don't know if you guys remember, one of the things they did was they were putting people on the respirators right away, only to later find out that should be like the last thing they should do is put them on the respirator. And the 6 feet apart thing, that was some BS. So you ain't doing no 6 feet apart. That joint ain't gonna work. But really, the coronavirus was the biggest transfer of wealth the United States has ever seen since Black Wall Street. A lot of y'all in the chat maybe or maybe not have heard about Black Wall Street. You can find out about that because the U.S. government bombed it.
I think everybody in here should know about.
Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I assume nothing.
Yeah.
I assume nothing.
Yeah.
And if they don't know about it, that's okay because it's not something that's regularly talked about either.
Yeah. Yep.
But a lot of small businesses got shut down during COVID. And to your point, Jay, you was talking about Sears and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Places like Walmart are the reason why Sears ain't in business no more. So,
you know, Walmart, from what I understand, is having some issues. I was looking at some report. It was saying Walmart's having some issues. I skimmed over it, so I don't want to, give no false info, but any business, any corporation can fail. Any corporation can fail.
So Jeffrey Flight, Amazon, Google, and others had great earnings. Now of them, which one of them didn't have mass layoffs? Which company had record profits and didn't have an announcement of massive layoffs? Because I'm telling you right now, you can make stuff look a certain way by reducing your operating expenditure, which automatically is going to inflate your profits. So let me know that. Kadisha, what's good? What's your next pickup? Probably the True Blue threes.
Oh, I mean, listen, I'm trying to definitely get those brickies, and we're gonna try to get those Travs. That's the next joints for me.
Yep, here we go again with the BS. Facts. Hell yeah. Mm-hmm. What is it? They got folks stuck in a cruise ship quarantine. Did they quarantine people on a ship? Because I heard a ship, there's people that got off a ship that they're trying to find that apparently have it.
Yeah.
And now they said like Texas, LA, and a couple other states are starting to be affected now.
Who was it? We was talking with yesterday. Mr. Think was talking about the killer bees. Remember the killer bees thing that they tried to put out there? Then they did the monkeypox. They're trying to scare everybody with the monkeypox.
Everything's a distraction. If you look at 2005 patent review, 2025, which is last year's patent review, Bill Gates actually put a patent in for a vaccine for hantavirus.
Yeah, of course he did. So, and by the way, I saw a clip. I don't know if y'all remember the show X-Files.
Yeah.
Bro, they talked about the hantavirus in the X-Files. And that show's been off the air now. How long? We talking about the original. The original, because they brought X-Files back for a little bit, but the original X-Files series before they brought Scully and Mulder back to do X-Files again, they talked about the hantavirus back then, bro. So it's so wild now that here we are.
You got to realize though, where you kicks the hantavirus has been around since the beginning of the 20th century.
And so was
not new.
Correct. And so is quote unquote COVID.
Well,
Corona. Remember, there was different strands of coronavirus.
Yeah, there were different variants.
Because on the back of the Lysol cans from way back, the coronavirus has already been there. It was just no one talked about it.
Well, because the variation of the natural strand, I'm not talking about the mutated strand.
Correct.
The natural strand has been around for forever, but it's just been such low dormancy that there was no transmittal rate, there was no way to really track it per se, from any different than a head cold or typical head cold, because there were a lot of people that had it were asymptomatic.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. 100 shoes. I mean, as the podcast is named, came one pair at a time. We can't all hit like Jay Elevate.
Facts.
Or pick up our shoes directly from the factory like Purple Haze.
False.
Look, we all don't get picked up in a Bentley.
No, you're right. To get our shoes.
Yeah,
furry slippers and champagne, red carpet.
Rolls Royce.
A robe, massage.
Semantics.
I think it's about to be another housing crisis. Facts.
I don't wish nothing bad on anybody, but a housing crisis needs to happen. A housing crisis truly needs to happen, because it is sad to say how many people right now are losing their homes. Corporate are buying up those homes and absolutely purposefully keeping that home vacant.
No, well, they want to rent them now.
But they're purposely keeping them vacant. They're not just renting them out, dude. They're purposely keeping homes vacant. Why is that? Because now that creates something called not enough space. That also creates something called price hike. It does. There are a lot of vacant homes out there that corporations own purposefully.
Price is high. Property taxes keep going up. Not a lot of people. Now, I will say, Texas, they eliminated property taxes, and they're looking to do it here in Florida, and a few other states are looking to get rid of property taxes also.
Yeah.
Which should be
it's
good.
Crazy, man. Like, if you think about it, like some people say, hey, man, plenty of Americans, they say, hey, my property tax is like $6,000 a month. Now in 2026, my property tax went up to $13,000. Come on, man. It's crazy.
So that's happened to people with new construction homes.
No.
No. Hold on. Let's back this up, because I know exactly what you're talking about. So, on a lot of new construction homes, okay, when they give you the breakdown, they show you what it is year one and what is going to be put in the escrow in order to pay their taxes. What happens then is the following year, there's a reevaluation that happens in the area. And then what they do is, right, now they redo your tax assessment based on the value of your home and the collective value of homes around it. And that's how a lot of people end up with, to your point, double the tax bill for the following year because of the reassessment that happens.
This is happening to homes that have already built in neighborhoods that are already established.
Yeah, yes, but see, you can see a pattern of what the taxes have been over the past few years because it's there. It's mainly new homes that are getting hit with these, especially considering you have no data except the first year you were there in the home, Jay.
But what
you
about
can see what the past? But you can see what the taxes have been in the past.
So
not unless
it's not happening all the way you saying. What you're saying is part of a partial correct. If you go ahead and look up what's going on in Chicago, already built neighborhoods. That's what I'm saying. That's not fully correct. You have already established built homes. They're not building no new homes around these areas. No new homes. And their property taxes have doubled.
Okay. So what are they trying to do in those areas though?
They're not doing nothing.
But think about it. If people get hit with a double assessment property tax, more than likely it makes their place what? Unaffordable. So what are they going to end up doing? Trying to sell and get out because they can't afford it. Or it's just going to add to the booming of foreclosure. They said in 2026, the average rate of foreclosures is up, the highest it's ever been.
Yeah.
Right? So, multitude of reasons. But if you have think about it, Jay. Let's just say you raise the property tax in an area where it's middle income. More than likely, they ain't got the ability to sell. They lose their home, and you're going to have a lot of vacancies there. Then a corporation come in, buy the homes, basically own all the land, and they'll probably start developing on there like apartments and strip malls and who knows what else.
No, not in this area. No, that will never happen in this area. This happens just for the whole simple fact. Again, it's just what you want to call. I like to call it part of is regentrification. But at the same time, they're not going to tear these homes down. They're not going to build a strip mall in this part. They're not. It goes back to again, just trying to take over. So I hear what you're saying, but everything you're saying is not accurate. That is not correct. So when you look at it from a standpoint of yes, more homes are being in foreclosure right now. If you do not build on your property, if you cannot, even if you wanted to, but if you cannot extend the square footage of your property, whether that's more land or not, because this place right here is just everybody's like very close to each other, and you go ahead and double the taxes, that just tells me that the mayor of that city is not doing what they're supposed to do. That's what there's going to. They're not doing what they're supposed to do. They're going out here taking this money, doing something else with that money. So what does that cause? Yes, that does cause corporations to come in, take those homes and make them for rent, but they're not going to make them for rent immediately. They're going to what? Leave it vacant. So why? So rent can go up, and then later on down the line, it'll open up. That's just the bottom line truth. What's going on?
Jeffrey Flight.
And I said it before, it's called gentrification. That's what's really going on. What you're talking about, the property taxes for these new homes, facts. But this is not already established neighborhoods that you cannot even build on. It's not true. That's not true.
That zesty shirt, Jay. Sears put themselves out of business. They never kept up with the times.
Facts.
Who got the vaccines? I didn't, and I only had COVID once, and it wasn't bad. I know people who got the vaccines and had COVID multiple times. Crazy. That's like the flu shot. I don't get the flu, right? But I know people who get the flu every time they get the flu shot.
Because it's a live virus.
Correct.
Yeah, it's putting it in your system. That's why.
Yeah, F all that.
It's a lab virus.
I feel like all this inflation is manufactured. Y'all better believe it's certain people out there making bank off these gas prices. Also, these gas prices give companies another excuse to raise prices. They said somebody in government before Spirit Airlines finally actually closed down that they unloaded all their stock a few days before Spirit finally shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah, Elizabeth Warren is.
There we go. Thank you. That's who it was. That's
Of
exactly
course.
what it was.
Yeah, of course.
Next cop, UNC fives. Oh, yes. Okay.
Let's go.
These people voted for these tax laws. It used to be different.
Facts.
My taxes were just over $5,000 this year. Oof. In Maryland. Oh, yeah. Maryland high to property tax. It's the gentrified areas. I'm not in Chicago close, but I live in a low income area, but they forcing people out with tax increases. Taxes in my area used to be different, but they voted for them to be this way.
My point exactly.
I'm trying to move to Delaware. That's what I'd like to do. Yeah, okay. Delaware is tax-free everything.
Okay.
Them states are worse for taxes. No, he's got a point.
No, he's absolutely correct.
He's absolutely right about that. A lot of blue states like New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania. A lot of those states, the taxes is property taxes are crazy in New Jersey. Crazy expensive in New Jersey.
Crazy.
And they got to pay, what is it, twice a year or something to that extent? I forget what it was. I don't know. I don't live there no more. So, gentlemen, great live today. Great time. What you got before we go ahead and close on that?
Man, chat, man, thanks as always for rocking out with us. Drive safely. Don't drink and drive. Don't do drugs. Don't start forest fires.
Jay?
Hey, chat, without y'all, this is not possible, man. Listen, I don't know what other podcast channel y'all gonna ever find when it talks about sneakers, fashion, money, property taxes. Listen, we do it all over here. Without y'all, it's not possible. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Like, share, subscribe for real fire sneaker content. You know the model.
Oh my God.
With that zesty shirt on too. You know what's so funny? I didn't even notice it said zesty on that joint the entire time. I was not paying attention at all to that. And man, chat, appreciate y'all being tapped in on another wonderful Saturday. It is Mother's Day weekend. Hopefully you guys got those reservations in because you know what it is, Mother's Day Sunday. If you ain't got a reservation by now, you SOL.
Pretty much.
Get safe. Have a great time, great weekend. Make sure you keep those notification bells turned on because you never know when they pop up live on you guys and drop the videos. Hopefully I can get this Bread Low band video out here to you very soon to give you my thoughts. And be on the lookout too for an idea we got looking at last year's band breads versus this year's band breads. You know, and just kind of having a discussion around all that. In any case, guys, appreciate you once again. Have a safe, wonderful Saturday, safe, wonderful weekend. We'll catch y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.